I've actually heard a call for a really long time to help Indigenous people. Um, yeah, and like when I was planning this road trip and first got my bus, I I understood that driving across this country was a kind of colonizing act in itself, and so it was always an intention of mine that when I was doing my travels, that I would find some way, shape, or form to help Indigenous people. Um, and yeah, and then like when I first started my trip across the country, I started on the East Coast, and I started having all these visions of like the first boats of colonizers coming into that East Coast, and like visions of like the land before colonization, and like I was getting just so angry, like seeing all these ugly ass buildings that we just like put everywhere, and like um, yeah, I was like feeling this like rage, and I hadn't even like ever heard of line three um, until I saw a TikTok by Gwaden that said the grandmothers have been calling you for a very long time, and a lot of you haven't been answering this call, and it's time to come now and help. So yeah, I've experienced like super strong, beautiful, queer, indigenous community, which has been really beautiful. Um, I've been really like struck by the ways in which we keep this community accountable and how we keep each other safe here, um, just within camp. Um, there's been a lot of actions, a lot of arrests, a lot of taking care of comrades and processing trauma um, that has come with those actions. Um, yeah, but there's been a lot of like movement and growth and like conversations, like revolutionary conversations and dreams for the future. Um, I actually haven't been willing to put myself in the position of getting arrested because I hope to be a therapist one day and I want to protect my ability to get my license. There's a part of me that feels a lot of guilt for not being willing to get arrested, um, for not willing to like put myself like all the way on the front line like that. But I also like there's so much like I know that there's so much other value in being here, um, and in like maintaining this space here at camp because yes, we're here to fight line three, but also there's a lot of like dreams of making this just a revolutionary space to decolonize in a lot of different ways, and I'm like really excited to contribute to that. Um, and like also I feel like I've been able to just like be a really like grounded support for people who have been arrested because I haven't necessarily experienced it. Like, I'm able to just hold space. But yeah, there is definitely the part of me that feels uh, guilt. But I also, at the same time, want to honor that there's like more work to do than just being arrested. And I actually, like, that's actually been a really big thought for me here because, like, there's so much trauma in our actions and in being arrested and like I've been like getting really curious about like um, work that we can do outside of that specific dynamic of just like putting ourselves in front of cops. Um, yeah, and like I think like a part of like the earth is being destroyed and like the systems of this world like aren't taking care of us, and so like I think one of the most important things that we're gonna need to do moving forward is like create communities like we have here and communities that'll keep us safe and communities that'll provide what we need, because the systems will never do that. um, so like whether or not we like win this fight on line three, this community will still be here and that work is still really important. there's a part of it that I'm not seeing, but like, because the thing is that camp is like run off of donations, and there's been an abundance of that. So um, like in terms of food and like finances for like hotels for actions and like yeah, like and bail funds, like we've been like really taken care of at camp, it seems like. So I feel like in that sense it's a little bit of a warped perception of what's possible outside of capitalism, because like we're so taken care of in that way where like the world is supporting what's happening here right now. I don't know if it'll always be that way. Um, but yeah, just creating sustainable communities, ideally where we're growing our own food, and like also like doing tasks like that are helpful to our community, like but not for monetary value. Um, just like doing things because of like your will and care and like want to do them. Um, yeah. Yeah, I think what I'm most hopeful for is like this idea of revolutionary community and like living outside of capitalism, um, and like yeah, being in these like community spaces where we're um, taking care of each other and taking care of our surrounding communities and um, yeah, just being tuned into like what we can do to support each other. That's what I'm most hopeful for.